Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell.
Hey guys, it's Angel here. So, welcome to week 2. Sorry it's a bit late. I am currently working on a very big cosplay build. So I'm a little behind the times, as it were. I am still desperately working on my big cosplay build. I have actually been asked to make a video of said cosplay when I'm done. So I'm hoping I had a photographer who'd offered to come and take some photos of me, so I may well do a cover of one of the songs from the movie that I am cosplaying from, and post the pictures to that song when I get time. God, do I never have time. Anyway, welcome to week 2 and issue 2 of IDW's Ninja Turtles. Yay! We've got Splinter on the front of this one this time, with some Ninja Turtles in the background and some thugs there. Excuse the shine. One day I'll figure out how to do the picture-y things. I think I figured it out, but I'm not sure yet, and I don't really have time to sort of play around this time, because otherwise it'll be next week before this video comes out. Ooh. So anyway, moving on. This one here is kind of like building the story. So you've got a lot of storytelling in this issue. It's kind of slow for those who are reading it for an action comic, but it's necessary. I enjoy it because it does build the world. It builds the Ninja Turtles world. It's not a follow-on from the previous comics of any kind. It's certainly not a follow-on from Archie. It's not a follow-on from the original Mirage, I think it was, and so on. It is its own universe. So building the story is quite obviously important. The main sort of story that comes in this, because there are several, and I will go through all of them. The main story follows Splinter. You start off with him. He's out getting supplies, and he's doing some scary things to some scary people, mainly thugs. We're not actually sure. I don't think he's actually killing them, but he could be. I mean, I don't know. He kind of looks like he's strangle holding there. But he could just be making them pass out. But he is talking about kind of like peace all the time. So, but yeah, it's a ninja comic. It's likely to be lots of death. There is death later on. So, like, there. Anyway. So you follow Master Splinter. He is reminiscing about what seems to be someone else's life. This guy's called Hamato Yoshi. I don't know if you've heard of him. So we kind of do some flashbacking stuff in this, and you meet Hamato Yoshi and his wife Tang Shen and their 4 sons. We don't actually find out the 4 sons' names. Funny that. But yeah, you follow them. You find out that Hamato Yoshi was a member of the Foot Clan, that he was actually quite high up in the Foot Clan and was very good friends with Oroku Saki. But when Oroku Saki became leader of the Foot Ninja, he took the Foot Clan in very evil directions, which Hamato Yoshi was not impressed with, and said so, and refused to join the Foot Clan in a mission because he felt it was wrong. This then made Oroku Saki very upset, to the point where he basically declared war on Hamato Yoshi and his family, and sent the Foot Ninja off to kill his family and obviously Hamato Yoshi himself. Tang Shen is murdered in this. 2 Foot Ninja basically just sort of show up, and she's there going, "Please don't kill my babies!" And they just go, psh. So she just goes, bleh. Yeah, she's kind of dead. Then Hamato Yoshi shows up, saves his sons. Obviously, there's a very heart-wrenching death scene with "don't die," and she's like, "it's too late," and all that very sad stuff. So yeah, you've got all that, and he goes off into the mountains with his sons of varying ages, which is quite interesting. because obviously we don't see them of varying ages, or at least it doesn't appear to be of varying ages in most comics. You then go on to when they're sort of grown up, or at least teenage years, so around the age they kind of are when they're mutated, so where they are there. The Foot Ninja, the Foot Clan, a whole army freaking finds them where they're hiding out, and have been training to protect themselves at Tang Shen's request, because she didn't want revenge. She wanted her sons just to be safe. Rokusaki basically makes Hamato Yoshi watch his sons be executed. They are quite literally beheaded, and then he takes the life of Hamato Yoshi himself. So that's basically the the main story of this sort of collection of stories in this group of comics. You do throughout it, the turtles seem aware that Master Splinter seems to have some kind of connection to a previous life, to some time in feudal Japan. Some of them believe him, some of them are quite happy, they're quite sort of forward thinking in it and go, yeah, it's possible. We seem to be able to fight quite easily with very little training. It seems quite natural to us. And in fact, one of the other stories follows the turtles and stuff. Raphael is training, and they actually state you've picked it up really well, and he then goes on to say, it's like I've learned it all before. In fact, Splinter comes back, and this is when they get the different coloured headbands. So in the previous episode, I said that there was a reason they were all wearing red headbands. That is because that was his favourite colour, or Raphael's favourite colour, and they were wearing red in honour of him. Now that they've found Raphael can keep the red headband, and the others get their signature colours, which, by the way, didn't come in until the 1989 cartoon. In fact, in the originals, they all wore red, or at least it would have been red had it not been a black and white comic, but whenever they did a colour thing, they'd all be in red. However, the guys developing the cartoon, when they eventually persuaded someone to make it, decided that actually they needed to sort of differentiate for the children, because clearly children all thick. It seems to work, and it's kind of stuck, so I wouldn't have it any other way, to be fair. But anyway, moving on. That's also when Raffi gets his sai. So he gets his own little weapons. He hasn't had any weapons up till now. He no longer looks miserable. Yay! We like it when Raffi's not miserable. Bless him. So you follow the turtles as well. That's kind of linked more to... All the stories are linked, but obviously some more closer than others in this group of comics. You follow the turtles in that little thread. They go out on a training run, and they follow a foot ninja who's also following a guy who kind of moves like a ninja. He certainly looks like a ninja, but he also looks like a cross between a ninja and kind of like a thug. He's kind of dressed kind of hip dude for a ninja dude. And they actually point out that he's doing parkour, which is, I don't know if I pronounced that right because my French sucks. And they do actually sort of explain that it is the French thing with the flippy. They explain it better. They do the French thing with the flippy things, where you kind of jump off things. I seem to recall there is a cosplay video of some cosplayers dressed in Assassin's Creed outfits doing it, and it does look pretty epic. I think they're freaking insane. It terrifies me, says the person who'll get on a horse and jump over a jump, but there we go. But yeah, so you meet this guy who actually gets killed, and his dying words are, "War is coming." So yeah, we've got a bit of suspense going on there. Another story in there is how April and Casey actually hook up. So we're starting to link in the main sort of supporting cast, as it were. to the Ninja Turtles. So we've got April and Casey meeting. You find out that April and Casey are both students at the same college. I think it's university in UK. I think that's the college in America is the same level as what we would have as university. But I could be wrong because I've never been to America. I haven't lived in America, so I'm really sorry if that's wrong. But so I'm pretty sure it's our version of university. So anyway, so yeah, they're both students. Casey's there on a hockey scholarship, the one with the pads and the ice, not the one with the scary women that I used to play with the balls and just knee pads, where you could really hurt yourself. And I did. I don't play hockey anymore. Yeah, so she's on an academic scholarship. He needs to get his grades up to stay on the hockey team. She's advertising to be a tutor because she's short a few quid or a few dollars. And actually, he ends up, instead of paying her, he actually ends up helping her train to fight and look after herself. It ends up with them meeting the turtles, but I'll sort of cover that in a minute. The other and sort of relatively final sort of story in this little group of comics in this graphic novel is following Baxter Stockman. They've gone with the black theme again, and he looks absolutely epic. You find that he's teamed up with Hob, the cat from the first graphic novel. You get the Mousers in this. There you go. You got some Mouser action. He's created the Mousers to help Hob find the turtles. You get an idea that Baxter had a very big hand in the turtles' mutation. And for some reason, Hob's mutation isn't the same as the turtles and Splinter. We don't know why this is. All we know is that for some reason, Hob's DNA is not, or mutated DNA is not suitable for whatever he needs. So whatever bad evil scheme. We then go on to find Krang. Yes, Krang is in this. He kind of has a bodysuit, not like the one in the new 2012 stuff. He kind of has a bodysuit, sort of a more modern, more cooler version of the original cartoon sort of suit. So it's not quite so weird, I suppose. He's got the rock soldiers, he's got all the sort of alien guys and stuff, but we find out that actually he's paying Baxter Stockman to do whatever it is he needs to do. Again, we don't find out what it is they're up to in this issue. So it all comes to a head towards the end. The Mousers are set on the boys and the master. You've got this big fight. To start with, it's just Donnie and Leo with Splinter fighting the Mousers. Raph and Mikey have gone out to get dinner, where you meet one of Mikey's little friends, where he kind of has a bromance going on with this guy. They write it quite well, because you kind of have this sort of like discussion beforehand. This is where you kind of find out that some of them are okay with Splinter's idea that they're reincarnated, whereas Donnie really isn't. And in fact, Donnie and Leo seem to be more at loggerheads than the traditional Raph Leo thing, which is quite an interesting twist to it, I feel. They seem sort of Leo, they've really gone for the whole sort of Leo is very spiritual and very into the sort of the Shinto Buddhist, I guess. I forget what they call it. There was a word, but anyway, Bushido, that was it. He's really into the Bushido type stuff, whereas Donnie, while of course he follows it all and stuff, he is definitely a scientist. He is very, very practical minded. He doesn't believe in magic. He doesn't believe in any crap that can't be explained, and so on and so forth. So he's quite close-minded, whereas Leo's very open-minded. And they they go head to head a few times, and they're quite snippy. It's very bitchy going on. It's quite funny. You're like, wow, they're like a proper family unit. Whoever wrote this clearly has either a little sister or a little brother. I'm inclined to think they have two little sisters because they kind of bitch like two little girls. If they were real, I'd be dead by now. So yeah, anyway, Raph and Mikey show up. They go to help. Mikey tries to get Splinter out. He doesn't. Hob then manages to get Splinter and kidnaps him. Then Donnie has this amazing idea to defeat the Mouses, and he does. And well, they all do, with Donnie's help. And then we have the climax before they go off to rescue Splinter. Now, sort of whilst all this is going on, you've got the April Casey story happening, and April brings up that she was attacked by Foot Ninja. She doesn't know it's Foot Ninja, but she does know it's Ninja. It's like they had Japanese swords and they had Japanese outfits and this, that, and the other. And you know, she's brought it up and she's like, it's really weird and you're gonna think I'm crazy. And then Casey's like, no, I don't think you're crazy. You need to come with me. And then she brings up the fact that there was this little rat called Splinter, who she swore was like human intelligence type thing. Of course, this was before he was mutated, and since then they've obviously mutated, and Casey, like, alarm bells are ringing, so he takes her to meet the boys. They get there just as the Mouses are defeated. It is quite funny because they kind of do the whole how the 1989 one did it. I mean, a lot of them do it. They the 2003 version, she fainted, and the 1989 one, she fainted. In the original movie, she just screamed. Actually, she fainted in the new movie too. I don't feel people faint that way, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so I've just got and I'm going to attempt an American accent. So if I get this horrendously wrong, I'm so sorry, America. I really am. But I am Devonian, born and bred. So an American accent, it just may not come easily to me. Are you ready? You ready for this? Are you ready? Ready? Listening? I can't deal with this. Yeah, that was shite. Anyway, and she faints. So she quite literally just faints. There she goes. You get, the turtles are just like, yeah, so anyway, we're going to go and rescue Splinter. And Raph just utters the best line. It's just, yeah, we'll be back. Cute girl, by the way. And you're just like, oh my god, I love you. And that's pretty much where it ends. I mean, quite literally, that is where it ends. Casey's holding the girl who's like passed out, and the layer is like trashed, and we don't know what's happened to Splinter. So it ends on a freaking cliffhanger. I hate cliffhangers. Again, you get some really cool sort of artwork in the back that you can sort of drool over and sort of have a good look at. Nice artwork on the back. Artwork in general, again, is really, really good. There's a couple of times, though, where sort of like the dimensions, just look a little bit off, like it was a bit rushed or something. It's probably just this artist's sort of drawing style. To be honest, it's not too off-putting. It's only a couple of times when you think, it's a bit weird. It's a little bit weird. Like, sometimes the turtles, their plasterings are a little bit sort of like squarish. They're just sometimes a little bit oddly drawn. And as I say, it's barely noticeable. It's not that bad. Otherwise the artwork is really gorgeous, as always. So yeah, so that's volume 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you go and read the comic. Please do, because we want more IDW stuff, because they seem to be really good at making comics. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One thing I do want to mention though is one of my favorite channels on YouTube has just been deleted due to a copyright claim. Team 4-Star. Now this has come up a lot recently. As you are probably very aware, I don't do a lot on my YouTube channel. I certainly am not making money out of this. I'd love to. It would be great to make money out of this, but quite frankly, I don't have the time to dedicate to it to make the money that these guys do. They do dedicate the time. They follow the rules. They entertain people. Even when they're reviewing, the Nostalgia Critic, who I absolutely adore, he's so funny, has recently had issues whereby they were unable to make any money at all for several weeks purely because somebody had made a complaint, and despite them following the rules on YouTube, they were the ones that were they were the ones who were criminalized. And while they're okay now, while it's all been sorted, there was still that time when they were being treated as guilty. So I kind of want to point out, if anyone from YouTube is watching this, I don't care where it is in the world, the majority of legal systems still say it is innocent until proven guilty. So where's the fair use? Okay, so down in the comments, guys, hashtag where's the fair use. Anyway, that's it from me. Until next time, love you all. Mwah!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. They're the world's most fearsome fighting team.
We're really hip.
They're heroes in the half shell, and they're green.
Hey, get a grip.
When the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys don't cut 'em no slack. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Splinter taught them to be ninja teens.
He's a radical rat.
Leonardo leads Donatello does machines.
That's a fact, Jack.
Raphael is cool but rude.
Give me a break.
Michelangelo is a party dude.